Yennefer and the Witchers managed to do it. The ugliest man alive revealed himself to be not man, but elf, and an elven sage at that. Avalach, for this was his name, was...
Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here. Cakey moors. Had victuals aplenty.
Geralt, you're terrible.
What'd I say?
Nahal in his eye. Ought to use it. Interesting.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both higher vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy of Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first... It's complicated, so without delving...
How's it work?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris... This triggers visions of events...
Any chance we might see what...
Indeed. Though I also hope...
Kovinaris spent half his life...
You guessed correctly.
Well, there's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. The spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature. It will take them some time, nonetheless.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a week.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia...
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly.
This your sophisticated...
I prefer almost...
Maybe...
anything in particular.
All right. Give you one question.
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony.
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer. To find out if I like being... I like being on the path. Like picking up a leaf, and nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like... Yeah, not something I think about much. But I like being a witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honest.
Still no sign of your...
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit long. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't...
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts.
Know anything else?
I don't recall much in particular.
Come on, search your memory.
I believe it had a relation to... Sorry, Geralt, What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct.
Ah, professional curiosity.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human home.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all.
I sincerely doubt it.
What exactly?
The area around the estate. It's covered.
Spoons.
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hawk.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the...
So,
Yes.
tomes? Thought you were gonna make this
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it...
All right.
And to you...
Perhaps you'd care to wager?
a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm, a message, trying to tell me something. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around. Pigsty.
You're terrible.
Need to search it
What'd I
thoroughly.
say?
Got a minute?
Of course.
I should...
All right.
Poor girl. Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant. No spoon you have shall sate you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
Geralt.
Spoon.
You're
Pretty
terrible.
ordinary.
What'd I say?
Maybe smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. Cauldron I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Table's set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast.
Terrible.
What'd I...
Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Table set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. We just need some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron.
not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it. You tried to bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you. We can't use spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons. Open your eyes. You need to see your likeness. Think it worked. Just not quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't be hard to find given its stench. Easy. Not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
I'll take you someplace safe. So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quick. Don't worry, sir, I shall...
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. What?
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient...
Marlena didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse, since she adored feast, and as she even refused him...
A harsh punishment.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to...
So what did...
Someone had to sit down and share a...
That's it?
Simplest solution. Besides, when you're a what?
I imagine so.
Vineyard comes a...
Baron?
He was actually a...
No, not him. He never hesitated. Monsieur Beaulieu, sadly...
Shame that.
Not at all.
Thanks.
Who taught you that?
Think your friend's hand'll make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. Raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Calling them often?
I try not to overdo it, but they can be so useful. As they were now, what...
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such.
Not sure I understand what the problem is.
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shape. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong...
Dangerous? Why? I mean...
True, but I should be highly agitated. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know...
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
That makes two of us. But worry not.
All right.
We shall visit Tesha Mudna, an ancient vampire. Beasts you will then kill.
Tesha Mudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, this brought trouble.
So what?
But they were bothersome. A torture... Kagmar was capped...
See no reason.
In a moment.
What was that?
Blood.
You crazy? You're a...
As things stand...
And you're starting...
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's...
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you that...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secure.
What'd I say?
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care? This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. Great many beings have breathed their last here.
Geralt, you're terrible.
What'd I say?
Glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us of where we came from.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlouse. We both remained in this part of the world.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed. Though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlough's. We both remained in this part of the world.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlough's. We both remained in this part of the world.
Whose is this glyph?
Amaran. They ventured beyond the sea.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the dead. Those who went east, beyond the Blue Mountains.
Geralt, you're terrible.
What'd I say?
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste.
Thus they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagma ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time. Deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing...
Well, that was awkward. Fine. Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters would catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, sends shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophagers.
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. The meat stench is so thick, I wager it carries clear to no blood.
Bait set. What now? Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what? Would you do what I uttered?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow. We just smelled the blood. I'll let you out. Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you. Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to...
What would you have done?
Found Dettlaff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you, the pain is my way of paying my debt. The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff. If I had to do it again, I would in a heartbeat.
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Dettlaff? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates.
Forgive me.
What?
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught. What did you see?
Seems Dettlaff had and he was overcome with fury, remorse. Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. Was kind to Dettlaff. Guess it could have been.
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it.
Clearly the situation provoked such emotions in Dettlaff. Killing someone who's grown dear to us, it's bound to. Did you see anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Dettlaff first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the port district. And the bootblack acted it.
Perhaps we should have a chat with them.
It's our only lead. I'll go to...
I shall join you later if it's not...
That's fair.